Flames versus Fnatic Raid called game number 2, with of course Azubu Blaze having a 1-0 lead. Jack, what are we expecting to see here from these two lineups?
Again, the early invade. You can see Captain Jack rush to that spot. These lineups, like Panky said, for Azubu, it's almost the polar opposite of what they did last time. They're the ones, AoE, get the team fights, try to kill. Fnatic, with, even though it's an AP in Italy, still about more of the pressure, more of the lane pushing. So a role reversal as far as team strategy goes.
We do see a difference between the two AD carries. You can see already Captain Jack coming into the lane straight away with that Doran's Blade, just boots and pots for Yellow Star. No invades coming out, nobody really getting close enough to put the wards out either. Peke is going to possibly go for the trap and throw it in the middle there, so going to be interesting to see how these lanes develop. Like, see Ambition is trying his... He wants to get in and get that ward down, but he gets spotted straight away by Peke, forces him away. Once things start to sort themselves out, I'm just wondering where Lustboy is going to go, actually, whether we are going to have a lane swap. Doesn't look like they want to initiate that. They want to stick to normal lanes.
And last game, we thought the same, and then at the last second, they kind of just zipped around and flew into different lanes. I would agree with you, though, here. I'd expect the regular lanes to come out. I don't think the Sona MF is prone to going mid. If anything, though, Fnatic is going to turn what Blaze did on them exactly last game, and they might have sent Lulu and Caitlyn mid, but it looks like they're just going normal.
Normal indeed. We can see that Azubu Blaze picking up their blue buff, just getting a good bit of damage coming out from Captain Jack and Lustboy there to help the Azubu start. Obviously going smiteless with that one so that he can get the better start, moving over to his other side of the jungle. Cyanide on the other side for Fnatic has also taken his red buff, also smiteless.
Last game, Amumu really got punished early, but Fnatic's not doing anything to shut down Helios right now, so he should be pretty safe with that Amumu pick. He's getting a good, easy clear of his jungle. He's able to pick up his red buff. Cyanide just happily farming his own jungle as well, so the early pressure that got placed on Fnatic's Amumu last game is nowhere near Helios right now.
So Helios picks up the red buff. Is going to go about his business with the double buffs when we see anything up towards the top. So, two top lanes. It is Kha'Zix versus Elise. Soaz versus Flame. Flame had a fantastic game in the last match. How is Soaz going to counter that?
Not entirely sure. This lane matchup might not be as difficult, but Flame has played a lot of Elise in the past. We'll see if Soaz is up to the challenge, because in IPL 5, Soaz was crushing everyone, and he was actually playing Kha'Zix before he became cool, in all honesty. Season 2, he was the one who destroyed with him in IPL 5. A lot of people have gotten used to laning against him now. We'll see how Flame does with Elise.
Before it was cool, a story with so many champions from Soaz. That's one of his major strengths, actually, that he seemingly pulls stuff out that people just aren't expecting. Meanwhile, we do have here Cyanide coming up towards that top lane. Actually decides in the end, probably not going to get in there to be able to pull anything off. We'll try it for somewhere else. But as of yet, no real big action. We're in game number 2, don't forget. So Fnatic know that risking it is not probably what they want to go for here. They need to play a solid game. They can't afford to throw this one away, otherwise they're going out.
So tough, though, against the way Azubu's playing. Even just now, even with the shove lanes that Fnatic has picked, Azubu seems to be outlaning them. Elise up top winning. Captain Jack and Lustboy seem very potent in the bottom lane. Cyanide wasted a bunch of time trying to gank mid there a second ago. Might not work out for him. They really have to start picking up the pressure in the lanes here, because already they seem to be falling back.
Yeah, the ward placement just giving it away every time, and he, like you mentioned, did waste a bit of time around there. Evelyn versus Nidalee. It's not really a lane matchup we've seen lately. We've seen, obviously, Ocelot playing a lot of Nidalee in the mid, but I don't remember the last time I saw Peke doing it, but, you know, he's pulled out a number of different mids this tournament. How do you rank these two?
Well, this mid Nidalee is going to be nothing like the top Nidalee we saw from Flame last game. It's all about just spamming AP. X-Peke is going to get Terror the Goddess straight to death cap and just try to pressure. Usually it's really, really strong in lane. If Ambition can't dodge all of the spears, he's going to have a bit of trouble. You pick Nidalee to be a pretty big pest in mid lane and then just poke with spears.
In the bottom lane, we're actually seeing a bit of pressure here coming out of Azubu, so that double up from Captain Jack, making major dents in Yellow Star and then Rayton's health pool we saw there. Double up just landing once again onto the AD carrying. Now, Caitlyn's got that range advantage over Misfortune in there, but the early damage from Captain Jack is really hard to match up.
misfortune was so huge in the matchup between Azubu Blaze and Azubu Frost. It was picked or banned pretty much every single game, so Captain Jack no stranger to knowing this misfortune matchup. It would seem that Caitlyn would have the advantage on her, but they're just doing a really good job executing this lane, getting the poke in and out, and already a 9 minion kill lead. As Helios comes around, maybe for a gank, Wards didn't see him.
We did just see Yellowstar going back, so Lustboy is on his own down the bottom here. There's not without chance. He could easily get dived on. You can see the waves going around. There comes Helios. He's getting into position. I think Lustboy and Reddit well aware of the situation. He's got a creep wave. That might help him block it. They're going to catch on to him, though. It's going to be good flash. Bandage toss was almost very well predicted.
Just waited that one out. Managed to get the escape. I'm surprised Lustboy didn't cycle and try to get a slow. Never mind, he has not put points in his slow yet on Sona. And Ambition actually trying to come around to stop Cyanide from stealing this jungle. Nothing much doing early.
And we saw that just the, even in these tense moments, being a game behind on a stage in front of so many people here, just the calm, collective nature of Enraged. They're just waiting until he sees that animation of the bandage toss coming out, and then using his flash afterwards on top of his game, that's for sure.
Even with all that, though, they're losing the lane. I mean, he did have to burn his flash, but that was because they'd gotten harassed out. Yellowstar was already back, and he was just surviving at his own turret. We'll see if they can get back in this lane. He's went double Doran's Blade on Caitlyn, so he's really trying to work through this one.
Well, as it stands at the moment, that top lane is definitely down a bit. 52 to 37 CS. We do see Kha'Zix kind of... Soaz has just been struggling against Flame, and this is just a credit to Flame, because like you mentioned, at IPL 5, we questioned Flame. We questioned his position in that team. Reaper, was a very experienced top laner that got replaced. They just simply didn't match the balances.
Ambition coming.
Down the bottom lane, you can see it's going to be Ambition getting towards Yellowstar. Of course, immediately turns him into a cupcake and sends him packing.
That was really big that they were able to get away from that, because Ambition burned his ultimate on that. That's a long cooldown, 100 seconds before he can make something happen. The Evelyn pressure is gone for a little bit now, and they didn't get anything out of that, so that's a win for Fnatic.
And Rated again managing to hold that one off. Let's have a look quickly at the CS and how that's all shaping up here. You see the AD carries there, 8 good, 10 CS lead almost, coming out for Misfortune middle lane. Nidalee does have round about the same kind of lead in that one. Amumu in the jungle is ahead of Shen, and in that top lane we can see that Elise above 10 CS in the lead. So overall, again, Azubu Blaze showing their strength in terms of that farm game.
But Soaz already starting to roam towards the mid. He's doing the counter jungle right now. They might look to get something happening, or he's just trying to be a pest. He might go back as Helios tries to get the blue, X-Pecking and Cyanide pressuring.
They're keeping the pressure on there. Oh, that spear comes through on towards Helios there. Just catches him down. That's going to leave him low. He's going to have to back off from that tri-bush, but that was Fnatic. They were trying to create something. They knew the blue was up. They knew the timers were ready. Soaz was already in position to put the pressure down in that mid lane. Meanwhile, Peke versus Ambition. Ambition, has already got his ulti down. He's going to flash. Oh, Stand United full-length flash as well. Not going to land.
There's the calm reaction time we were talking about earlier with the first flash. Again, just dodging the death blow with flash. Ambition did it, and Reyna did it in the bottom lane as well. Next gank might work, but the Shen flash was burned as well, so it seems like Ambition is going to be pretty safe in mid lane for a bit.
Did Peke just fail a pouncer?
Yep.
I'm pretty sure.
Can he get through? Nah, he's just going to spirit.
Nobody saw it.
Nobody saw it.
Oh! But what we did see, or not see, as the case was Enrated going down first blood in that bot lane. It's okay, ladies and gentlemen, because Panky's doing the camera today and not me.
At CursePanky on Twitter, by the way, if you want to send your feedback, let's call it, on that first blood down there. But either way, it's first blood, and it goes over to Misfortune.
It was pretty crazy because they burned the cleanse and the flash from Yellowstar and still got the kill. They bursted so much damage down with the crescendo when it landed in the bottom lane. So we can pretty much imagine how that one played out, because we didn't get to see it.
Just keep rubbing it in. To be fair, Yellowstar taken down very low by Captain Jack there. Took a few tower hits himself. He's trying to clear out this wave. He's going to keep that pressure on. Down to half hit points already, that bottom turret, top line. You can see Flame just keeping that pressure on towards Soaz. Soaz is starting to fall heavily behind now. 20 CS behind Flame already. Just like we saw in the first game, really starting to struggle again.
And that Tear of the Goddess is a weird choice on Elise. Normally, you just see her rush magic penetration and then tank, but something a little different from Flame. We'll see what he ends up turning that into because he's really trying to pressure back Soaz, who also went a Tear, but once in that top lane, Kha'Zix gets the Tear of the Goddess and the Evolve W, you usually don't see the lane go that way, so we'll see how it works out.
So we've got Shen with those boots of mobility, also is now level 6, so obviously has that ultimate to add into the equation when it comes to those team fights. See there, Nidalee pressuring that middle lane once again, already down to half HP. Not a lot really that Amumu can do. Al throws the bandage toss out, pounced away from by Xpeke, but he's done a good chunk of damage onto that middle outer turret.
And he's doing a good job keeping Ambition from roaming. The one roam that Evelyn did do didn't work out, as we see some pressure top lane from Flame, but Xpeke putting a little pressure on. We know the top lane is being won by Flame over Soaz, but Xpeke is beating up Ambition in mid.
But they're losing the bottom lane quite heavily. 30 CS difference now, and you can see Azubu starting to ward up that dragon. They want a place of it. They're going to go for it.
Flame coming down from the top lane as well, so if Fnatic decides to contest, Soaz would not be able to join. He's way behind the Spider Queen coming down there. Helios starting on. They would want to engage as well. They have all the AoE. This is the fight Azubu's trying to force.
Half HP Hero Dragon there, coming the Spear Ambition. Gonna be knocked down low, but that Dragon is going to be taken out. There's the ultimate, and the Spear as well! Oh, the timing, amazing from Fnatic.
Wombo combo from about 2,000 range, punishing them for the Dragon. Overall, that might be a win for Azubu unless Fnatic can turn something out of that kill.
They did manage to get the hit, and again, another spear came through on towards Ambition. This time they are starting to catch on towards this middle lane. If they can take this middle lane, it would definitely be a win for them. And that is going to be the first turret of the game going down to Fnatic. They're going to continue pushing.
Mid turret is the most important one, and they get it first with the buffs on Xpeke. They're going to continue pushing this down. Amumu is up. There's a stun on Cyanide. Here comes Azubu.
Cyanide could be in trouble here. Actually gets a Lulu ultimate, but we are seeing Flame go in there. He picks up the kill, instantly gets himself away from that one, using his flash to his advantage. Brilliant play. They gain the kill lead once again.
Superb, superb stuff there from both sides. 2-1 the kill score. Azubu, Blaze, they are 1-0 up in the series, but they are one turret down currently. The gold advantage is in their favour still, despite the fact that Fnatic are starting to get a little advantage. That middle turret, it's a big important unit.
It's interesting that Azubu has the 1,000 gold advantage, but because of that turret, Fnatic does have a little bit of control. Keeping Evelyn back in that mid lane with the turret down really cuts down on the pressure that he is able to provide on the rest of the map. So as long as Soaz can get going on Kha'Zix, he's going to be hitting level 11 pretty soon here to get the leap evolution as well as the W evolution. That's when Fnatic will kind of have their window to make something happen.
You can see the items there. Kha'Zix with that Brutalizer coming into lane. We've got the Warmogs actually already finished up here for Elise, so plenty of health, that's for sure. There's the second giant spell on Amumu as well, and now if we look at Amumu at this point now, 13 minutes in, he's like further than Cyanide managed after 25 minutes of the last game.
Helios definitely not under the same pressure from Fnatic in as far as counter jungling goes in the last game. 55 to 54 in the jungle. I mean, like you said, it was 31 minutes in last game when Cyanide had 55 minions on Amumu, so really not pressure being provided onto Helios' jungle, and that's what Amumu lives for. If he can get farmed up, already having that giant spell, probably going Sunfire Cape, that's going to be really important for Azubu.
But importantly here, Flame in that top lane, he was a 20 CS advantage on Soaz. Soaz has pulled it back now. Now that he's starting to level up, starting to get the damage. You can see the Brutalize on there. He's just gone back and got a Vampiric Scepter, so he's starting to build up more and more damage. He's going to go for that Bloodthirster first on, tends to be what he builds towards, but he's starting to turn things around here. Flame, of course, did get that kill, the important kill on Cyanide, but as it stands, things are starting to balance out a little bit more in this game.
With the turret kill, it's just Azubu Blaze doesn't really have the ability to roam around. I mean, Xpeke is just free farming in the mid lane, stacking up his tier. Soaz is wave clearing in the top lane. Bottom lane also seems to have been able to balance out with the double Dorans. Yellowstar is able to survive. They're still losing pretty badly, but they keep taking the double golems. They've trapped up those brushes. They're keeping them at bay a little bit. And with the dragon down, it is a bit of that wait until the next big team fight happens, because Azubu holds the cards as far as initiation goes.
That's 2.5 minutes until that next dragon will be coming into play at 17 minutes and 37 seconds into that matchup. As you see, Xpeke here headed down towards bottom. There is a pink ward there to spine, but it could be a fairly late one. The vision is fairly far pushed up. There's the spear landing. Going to get Polymorph ultimate. Going to come out. And Caitlyn blocked by Lustboy. There's a great knock-up from Lulu. In comes the crescendo. It's not enough, and that is 2 kills, and it's a double kill for the AD carry.
Well, Yellow Star managing to pick that one up nicely. Meanwhile, we can see also, Ambition thought about coming down there, but it's a 4-man stack in that bottom lane. Soaz versus Flame in the top lane. Has you stand united. He's going to come in towards Flame, Flame in towards the turret. He's going to get caught out here. Here comes Peke as well. Peke teleported in. Beautiful play, and they're just turning things around. Flame's going to try and repel. He's trying to get away. The tower hits are going to come in. Peke should finish this one off. Whoa, not! It's going to be Soaz that finally closes the deal. Meanwhile, down the bottom, we saw Yellow Star getting picked up by Helios.
Down bottom, Helios and actually cleaned up N-Rated and Yellow Star. So even though Fnatic won the fight up top and the initial double kill down bot, it got turned around on them. And after all of that happened, it's pretty much an even trade, especially once this tower goes down.
That tower is being hammered away by Helios. There's the bullet time actually going down in this top lane. And see there on your screen, that bottom lane is going to be finished off. But we are seeing a bit of a switch going on up on that top side of the map.
We'll see if Captain Jack and Lustboy can put much pressure down onto Soaz. He's a little bit low. They might try to shove down these turrets because the turret war has almost been started here as they continue to try to push down on each other.
We are seeing Peke making his way up towards that top lane. They're getting ready to go for something here. Peke has been farming out, took out the raids now. They're going to go towards, straight up towards it, leaping in. Well, immediately turn around, and now it's going to be Captain Jack in trouble. So he's using the ultimate. He's going to get the slow with the reset, and Peke picks up another kill. It's 6-4. Fnatic are fighting here.
And they were able to pick up those kills before Ambition made a top lane, so Evelyn was unable to participate. That's mainly because the mid turret was down and Ambition is trapped there. They might look to dive on here.
It looks that way. Ambition going to try and get away, but he's going to get taunted in. This is a dead Ambition, surely enough. He's going to be chased down. He's going to fall. Azubu gets in there, picks up the kill onto Shen, but it's not going to be any more than that. No one able to come around to react to that one. In the meantime, Yellow Star actually took down that bottom turret as well. Flame tried to come in, but couldn't stop it.
Really a bunch of action exploded. Xpeke has done so much in this game, roaming around. Getting Soaz the 3 kills as well is going to be extremely scary for the rest of Azubu. Also now with Helios trapped up top and the Dragon respawning, Fnatic has a chance to pick this one up for free.
Fnatic are in there. You can see Peke, Yellow Star, N-Rated. They're all stacking up around it, but Azubu starting to move into position. Bullet time is available in just a second. You can see Captain Jack come around. They forced them away. Now drag it down to half. They do not want to give up on this one.
And this could go on for a while. They know that Azubu wants to get this, so Fnatic is going to continue to poke and prod at them. Soaz is getting there, so is Cyanide. They're all trying to collapse in. The ultimates are about to come off cooldown. Cyanide needs a bit more on Stand United, then they'll want to fight. Ambition also waiting on the Evelyn ult, so this is going to be very tense. They have to fight over this Dragon.
Ambition pushing that middle lane back. Azubu starting off here on the Dragon. What are Fnatic going to do to stop this one? It's got about a third of its health taken away as Enraged starts to have a look. Soaz is having a look, but they back off.
Yeah, the thing is, Peke went back in range of that ward and they immediately reacted to it. Oh, and they've caught on towards Cyanide. Cyanide, Crescendo comes out. He is a dead jungler. And that was really Cyanide simply trying to make something of nothing.
It was an unfortunate team miscommunication as they get chunked by the Nidalee Spear and the Kazakh's Void Spike, so maybe they can turn something around off this, but Xpeke going back, unfortunately, in the ward, and then Cyanide trying to make something happen with this might still really hurt them.
Well, Soaz is going to get caught out. Curse of the Sad Mommy on towards him, and immediately gets pinned off. We've seen him make some amazing escapes. Can he be enough? The heal comes out. He tries the lifesteal away, and he gets it. He got the Void Spikes onto the race to get the lifesteal. Brilliant.
He was dead for all intents and purposes. Then the heal from Nidalee and his W, but here comes the initiation around the back.
They're going to push in here. Ambition could be in a little bit of trouble, but we see the Lulu ultimate go down. Yellow Star will die, and Rated is very, very low, but Azubu wanted to force them away from this middle outer turret. They've done just that, and they've taken the turret down.
So the Dragon, the turret, things are slowly slipping to Azubu Blaze's favor, and they're going to continue this push on mid. With Yellowstar down, the sustained damage wouldn't be there for Fnatic. I don't think they want to initiate on this one.
Well, that's the second turret gone down as well in that mid lane. The Spears are finding their homes, and you know, if they could combine it, so as with the Void Spikes, Peke with the Spear, and of course Ace in the hole maybe coming from Yellowstar, they could definitely snipe someone down from long range, but as it stands, they just can't seem to manage to group themselves together, and Azubu reacted so well from a game that was in dangerous snowball in all intents and purposes. Oh wow, this boy caught out heavy.
One thing I just want to point out there is that heal that came in from Peke was actually, he used his flash. He flashed over the wall into Wraith and healed him when that Ignite was burning. Without that, I think the last tick would have killed him.
It kind of came out of nowhere with that. And as the game develops even more, it's really turning into a huge poke fest from Fnatic versus how quickly Azubu can initiate on them. And Azubu is not going to hesitate in those situations, so expect to see a lot of fighting as this game goes to its conclusion.
They're diving onto Flame in the top there. He's going to try and repel, but he's got nowhere to go. They're going to turn the turret instead down, and that's going to be Flame going down. They can take the turret with it. They will do, and that makes it all square. 3-3 in turrets.
8 kills to 7 as well. The gold only 2,000 away. There was just no escape there for Flame, even with his Warmogs. He's going the full tank Elise, much different than we saw Soaz do last game, but that is just the different styles. Soaz has a lot of gold there on Kha'Zix. He's going to be getting that Bloodthirster. Even more scary, the poke from Void Spikes plus Nidalee Spears plus Yellowstar's Piltover Peacemaker is going to be really huge. Cannot wait to see how Azubu counters it with hard initiations.
Okay, they're just picking up that haunting guys to the penetration. We saw it yesterday. I mean, the whole Rift walking around the Nexus thing yesterday was the prime example of Peke's micromanagement skill. This guy is really on top of his game when it comes to that aspect of his play. And it just keeps coming up time and time again, just those little things that you don't even notice some of the time at first look, but he is just so good right now. We can see there another spear landing. I wish we had statistics of how many spears he's landed so far, because even in that top lane before, he hit a full distance one onto Helios.
And you can see they do not want to get poked down. That is Azubu. There's the Shirelli's Reverie and the disengage probably coming from Fnatic. Just to add to that, you can tell the amount of practice Fnatic and especially XPeke have been putting in. He's actually #1 on the solo queue ladder in EU right now, which just goes to show how much he's been practicing individually. But poking will continue. Azubu really wants this one.
They're going to have to land on those awesome combos because as it stands, Fnatic are poking very well. And so has already got himself 4-0-1. He's very strong right now. Combine that with those spears that keep landing. And Captain Jack there, half his health going from one single spear. And Lustboy, very brave. Got himself the oracles, but if he gets caught by one of those spears in the Void Spikes, he's dead.
It's so tense in this case because the Nidalee Spears with the death cap and the stacking tier as well as the magic pen is huge. Cyanide's trying to make something happen here as Shen, trying to split push away and make the 5-man kind of AoE initiation combination from Azubu Blaze not work. If he can get powerful enough to be able to fully distract someone and not fear for his life, it's going to get huge, but he's not quite there yet.
Yeah, he's going to actually back away in the end from that bottom lane. Ambition comes down just to get himself a little bit of free farm. And yeah, the whole thing with that Oracle there is at that time of the game and at that position where things are kind of on a knife edge here, and as I say that, it's actually timed out there for him as well, but on a knife edge, I'm not sure, I mean, Jack, maybe you've got a different opinion on this one, but when this game is in such a position right now where they've lost their middle turret, they've got no safety behind them, on that top side as well, it's hard for Lustboy to justify being out of position clearing wards, especially with that new Oracle timer.
The reason he probably has to get all the Oracles though, is they completely rely on being able to get the jump onto Fnatic. So if they don't clear the wards, they're never going to get a clean initiation.
Ambition has been sat lying in wait down that bottom lane, but meanwhile Captain Jack is the target, so as the spear lands and the stun comes out, there's going to be Stand United taking down very low. Stand United from Cyanide there. He was almost a dead man from Ambition, but he could manage to get the stun down. That would have been Cyanide dying bot lane.
And with all that, it's still a 0-for-0. Ambition's coming in from behind. They're pushing down the turret. They're going to get collapsed on here, but they might win the fight if they go.
Let's see what Ambition could do. In the end, decides to go off around the side. He's going to get spotted here. Pops his W for that movement speed. Spear lands, but not enough damage to pin him down. In the meantime, Flame is pushing this top lane. We saw it from his Nidalee last time. It did well for him. He's not quite got the persistent damage to do that right now in this top lane. He's going to decide to back off. We're at 24-46. Dragon is up, and we are going to see them do it.
Looks like they get it clean, and surprisingly, Flame didn't continue pressure onto that top lane. That turret's not going to fall to minions either, so the gold, at least for now, is extremely close at a 700 lead.
Very, very tight between the two, and Fnatic at the moment, they're starting to create things, create kills, create problems. And as it is, Azubu, they just seem a little unsure of how to deal with Fnatic. They're starting to basically flip-flop the game on them. Soaz starting to push the top lane, Cyanide pushing the bottom. And this is actually, to me, this seems pretty crucial because Azubu are going to have to start dealing with it. Cyanide is just going to get stronger and stronger with Shen.
It's about them trying to get the fights. They haven't been able to in the last little bit. They've tried a few flanks. The split push actually worked pretty well from Cyanide. It allowed them to get that second mid turret. And they're going to continue on this path until Azubu gets clean initiations. The unfortunate thing for Fnatic is when everyone went back to base there, Lustboy cleared out a substantial amount of wards near the middle lane, so the initiation will be slightly easier for Azubu Blaze. Helios' ultimate is off cooldown fairly shortly. They're going to look to get some catches, especially once they see Xpeke up top on Nidalee.
So as that just been forced to cancel his recall, he wanted to go and add something new to that already impressive lineup provides. He's got about just above 1,000 gold on his person right now, and here is Lustboy again, gonna have some ward clearing time inside of that top river area, but Soaz actually jumping in there, acing the hole coming out as well, blocked by Helios, and that won't really result in too much for Fnatic.
It was a good thing he flashed out of that because he was about to get evaporated by Kha'Zix's Q. They're coming in around for a flank, though. Flame having to use his ult.
Very nicely done there. Pops up, repels up. Cyanide already used that. United's going to jump in. He's going to get the slowdown. Lustboy again. You can see the wave as damage comes in. Helios is going to try and get the curse of the South Mommy. There's the missile shooting ultimate as well. And then Rated, though, just survives it. Soaz is going to be the target. He hasn't got Leap available at the moment. He has to flash away. Leap will be back up in a second, but the rest of the team are now there. They're going to come straight around. Ambition's the target. Crescendo comes across. Azubu very slow and low here. Flame and trying to get away. Helios is taken down very low. One more shot from Yellowstar. Should take him down. Yes, he will. Then Captain Jack's the next target. Can they get around? The spear comes around. Peke's coming in. Azubu are backing away from this all the way.
Here we go. Soaz going to jump in. He goes low. Ends up dying, but they've got 2 kills. There is Xpeke. He's going to take down Evelyn. He gets himself the second. Actually, no, it was a double kill in the end from Yellowstar. And Jack, so much work done in that single fight by the red buff on Yellowstar, getting the slows off.
He just did damage the entire time from the back, and Azubu could not initiate on him. Also, they couldn't quite finish off Soaz, and that really helped them with the final clean. He suicided in there to get that slow. Inhibitor down for Fnatic is huge against a team comp like Azubu's.
Amazing stuff here. 5-3 in turrets. Fnatic in the lead now with the gold as well. 12-9 up in kills. They are 1-0 down in this game, so of course they have to win this one to take it to a best of 3. But Peke is going to continue pushing on that bottom turret. Then meanwhile they are on the Baron. They're completely distracted here. They're trying to deal with Peke in the bottom lane. They have no idea that this Baron is happening. Fnatic are going to pick it up.
Especially because they forced away Lustboy while he was trying to get Baron vision, made him use the flash. Azubu Blaze hasn't had time to get around the Baron area to cover this. No way they can get this Baron. Great play by Fnatic, just pulling off that tactical move.
Before 30 minutes here for Fnatic, they're 5-3 up in turrets. They've got 2,300 gold in their advantage. There we can see Ambition on your screen. He's picked up a Guardian Angel, which to my knowledge feels like the first Guardian Angel that we've seen of the entire tournament as well.
It's usually a Warmox nowadays, but he's going with something a little different. Evelyn powers through so much with the shield from her ultimate. It can get up to 1,500. He's just going for resistances at this point. Really going to try to suicide in and then still get up and be a little bit relevant. But at this point, it's going to have to be at the base. Fnatic is going to be an extremely good poke team. They put down quite enough wards. Ambition's really going to have to work some magic on Evelyn. in order for them to get back in this game, he's going to have to flank around the back of Fnatic and get a good evolve off. Otherwise, I don't think they're going to hold a chance in these fights.
Ambition's in trouble here. He's going down too deep on the lane, and you can see Peke and Soaz coming around the back already. That Guardian Angels might well be the only thing that could keep him in it. Immediately, Soaz leaps in. They do manage to catch him out in the hole, but he does get away the spear. The combination comes in. I think Soaz actually void spikes hit the minions.
But the evolve is down though, so they can push these turrets completely freely. The only fear was the fact that Ambition could flank them. They're going to probably continue this push because there's no threat from Evelyn right now.
Looking for inhibitor number 2 here, Fnatic. They are 1-0 behind so far. Wow, that spear onto Captain Jack. Insane, like full range spear. So much damage coming out of XPK right now. You see that got that void staff on in the end. Kha'Zix got himself that last whisper to add into everything. Evelyn's actually in the top lane right now, and we are going to see them pushing straight through onto this turret.
They keep landing the spears and they can't hold this. You saw Ambition up top because he knew he wasn't useful without his ultimate, but they keep getting hit by these XPK spears and they're getting destroyed. This turret is not long.
Oh my word! Peke from downtown dumps the spear and the inhibitor is going to go down. Fnatic are going to drive it through. They've got super minions in. Another spear on towards the backside of Captain Jack. They have managed to catch him down. There's going to be the Nexus turret burned as well. Fnatic are destroying the base of Azubu Blaze, and this could be the first game they've lost of the tournament. Fnatic not going to go too deep on this one. They're wary of Azubu.
They took that Baron buff right up the lane and completely rolled through Azubu. They cannot handle the poke. They're just waiting for the next wave of super minions. They're going for it.
They're going to go for this second Nexus turret. That is going to fall very quickly there. It was Yellow Star who managed to pick that one up in the end. Flame again gets hit by another spear. I asked about that whole spear accuracy thing stat that we really would like to see in this one. And the last few minutes, he's just been hitting every single one. Fnatic going to be finishing off the last turret outside of the base. Well, it leaves them just with one remaining overall right now, to be honest with you. And they have just turned this game on its head. Best of 3, that's the beauty of a game like this. You can lose game number 1 so systematically, so faultless from Azubu. And Fnatic, they've come back into it, kept themselves, their heads high, and just look what it's done for them.
And they really have a lot of comfort right now. Smart move not banning out Nidalee and then taking it for themselves. Really just showing a complete different style. Last game we really saw Flame take complete control with the tank split push Nidalee. This has been all about XPK and the rest of the team following up with the spears. And you know, overall they took a lot of the composition away from Azubu Blaze and then played it totally differently. So it's really been impressive. They're going to look to push that top inhibitor next.
It's nice to see for me that Helios, he didn't turn either. You know, so many people see those spears coming and they just carry on running in a straight line, and he did exactly the same thing. Didn't even dodge it. You just saw him step on a trap, then saw how much damage that singular trap did from Peke. His AP is off the chart right now. He's definitely doing a lot of damage.
And I really got to compliment him on the build as well. Getting the Sorcerer Shoes common with the Haunting Guys into a Void Staff then just meant he was shredding so much extra magic resist. As you can see, even a fairly tanky Amumu is getting destroyed by those spears. I don't know how Azubu's going to be able to hold this next turn, even though the Baron buff is off Fnatic right now.
Here we go then, more spears coming in. Fnatic with 4 men on this top side. Caitlyn just a little bit south of that as the inhibitor does come back up.
You just see Lost Boy, he's been going back and forward, trying to get them home guard boots on, and he keeps trying to proc it so he can get his speed in and get the crescendo down, but it's just, they're not falling for it, they're not grouping up for him.
If they can get that hard initiation, it's all about the flanking. So many home guard boots being completed, but Yellow Star putting the pressure down as well. If Ambition can get around the back of them, it may not even be enough at this point because someone pretty much has to be on full-time duty holding the Nexus since there's no Nexus turrets there.
Here we go then, Fnatic pushing down. There is a Shirelia's pop. They've missed pretty much all the crowd control, but Ambition right in the middle of them gets polymorphed here. Yellow Star the target. He's going to cleanse, but that's not going to be a surely to save him. They're going straight in for it. They're going to try and finish this one off. They're going to go in there. Down to half HP. Fnatic going to go in there, take the Nexus and win the game.
That is what they did before.
Sneak attack.
They did